Hello friends, and welcome back to the channel. For today's Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed video on the PS4, I wanted to talk about the recent patch that we got, patch 1.7.1, which is the first hotfix patch for the new Ecto Edition that we got with DLC 4. I wanted to cover a couple of things that Illfonic has finally acknowledged, bugs that in one case has been in the game from launch, and the other bug that has been in the game since DLC 3 that Illfonic has finally decided to acknowledge and have attempted to fix, as well as my experience so far with that and a couple of bugs that I have encountered while playing the game after the most recent patch. Now, I will not be going over the patch notes in their entirety, just so that you know. So the first bug that I wanted to cover is a major one for me and anybody that has been having issue with the dual vertical grip if you use that, and it states here in Illfonic's patch notes that they fixed an issue where the dual vertical grip attachment would sometimes automatically push or pull Ghost. Now this is something that I covered when DLC 3 came out. When DLC 3 came out, it broke the grips and they would automatically push or pull a Ghost, at least in my experience, from a tethered state. You had no control over it, or they simply would not work at all, making the attachment completely unusable. And I did cover that several times in bug videos, but this is the first time that Illfonic has actually acknowledged that there was an issue with them, and they did attempt to fix them. Now I do want to state that in my testing of it today, they are not fixed. They are partly fixed. It is true, at least from what I have been using of them, they are no longer automatically pushing or pulling the Ghost. However, they sometimes simply do not function when trying to use them. They either will not manually do it, or in one instance, which actually I've encountered before since DLC 4 came out and it became the Ecto Edition, trying to pull the Ghost instead causes your character to walk backwards. And I do want to make it clear that I know I was hitting L1 and not my left analog stick, and it was making the character walk backwards. I do believe that they had tried to fix the dual vertical grips with DLC 4, but just didn't acknowledge it, and perhaps they think they have fixed them this time. And again, they have fixed them in part, but they're still not completely functional, not like they were before. One thing that I have noticed is that now, for whatever reason, before shortening the stream seemed to make it work a little bit better. Now it seems that is the opposite effect. If trying to use the focus tip, it really doesn't seem like it wants to work at all. I have had about 70 to 80% luck with the breaker attachment. So if you're having issue with it, you could try that. Now for the other bug that I want to cover, that if it is what I think it is, according to the patch notes here, is a major bug that has been in the game from the beginning, and that is the trap bug. So the patch note states, fixed an issue where Ghost could become untrappable and instantly drain trap batteries. Now that definitely sounds like the trap bug to me. For newer players that might be unaware, the trap bug is a bug that would occur that even if your trap had a full charge, when the Ghost would be pulled into the pull field, it would just automatically kill the trap, and the Ghost would be able to escape without having to do the mini game or anything like that. It could also sometimes pull the Ghost under the map and out of bounds, something else that in the patch notes says was fixed. And this could occur with multiple players' traps. It could occur randomly. It could occur often. Some people claimed it was latency, but I had enough experience with it to know that while that could have been a possibility, it wasn't the whole reason for it. But in any case, it was an extremely unfair bug that has been in the game from the very beginning, and to my knowledge is the first time that Illfonic has actually acknowledged that it is a thing and attempted to fix it. It's not like I ever, play with any of them or anything, and so I don't know, but at least from my knowledge is the first time that they've actually tried to fix this. And at least in my playthrough today, I have not encountered it. I don't encounter it all the time though, so I will have to play more before I can conclusively say that it has been fixed, but hopefully it has. And if so, it's about time, but that is an absolute fantastic fix that has been long since overdue. Now for a couple of bugs that I have encountered after the hotfix patch. They both have to do with bot Ghost. One was that after a player left the match and the bot Ghost took over, the bot got stuck. It wasn't in anything. It was just in the middle of the floor over near our cart. It got stuck. We couldn't push or pull it, yank it out of the way. We couldn't trap it, and it stayed that way the entire match. It didn't attack or anything either. It stayed that way until another player replaced it, which was quite some time in the match. The other bug that, again, had to do with a bot was after I had captured a bot. I thought maybe the bot had spawned outside the map because I was never getting any PKE readings, and it was quite a long time, and at some point should have encountered it. But at one point, I believe it might have been invisible and not giving off readings because there was a bot Ghostbuster player that started trying to tether something in front of me that I couldn't see, and it would instantly break the tether. And I used the radar puck, and I did get blips on that where I didn't get anything with the PKE. And at some point near the end of the match, the bot actually did catch the bot ghost. So I believe from what I saw, maybe it was invisible, but I'm not certain. And that is the first time I've encountered that bug. For the final bug to do with the Ghostbuster side that I've encountered, the emotes, the dancing emote. Normally when you play that emote, it will continue to play until you move the character. However, there is occasion that you're not able to move the character when using it and can't cancel out the emote. If that happens, just simply use a different emote. I usually use the wave one, and that will usually fix it after that emote is done playing and I'm able to move again, so you could try that. And for the final bug, that is one that I've encountered and actually has been in the game for a bit, but would be, I would say, when playing as the ghost, sometimes the ghost won't be able to use any of its abilities. It seems to happen when either I possess an object and then leave it, or if I scare after possessing an object, and that usually there's nothing I can really do about that. That will persist to the end of the match. You can't go into anything and can't scare. So those are the bugs that I have encountered thus far.